everybody, welcome to the Dex, where we cover trivia and strategy for a different Pokemon each week. I'm Magma Admin Alex.
And I'm PokeKellz, but dang dude, do you feel that? Man, I'm sweating like a in church.
Whoa, what? You can't just say that, think of the kids.
I'm sorry, it's just so hot, it brings out the deadwood in me.
Okay, fine, I'll let it slide just because that show is so darn great.
Great.
What are we talking about again?
What? Oh yeah, it's Magmortar!
Welcome to f***ing Deadwood. Magmortar is the blast Pokemon. He evolves from Magmar when you trade it while it's holding a Magmarizer. Magmar got a baby evolution with Magby in Gen 2, but Magmortar didn't show up till Gen 4. Just let him be now, okay?
Magmortar live in volcanic craters, and the fireballs they shoot from their cannon arms are supposed to be 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit. When that happens, they usually turn white hot, and their breath is actually supposed to sear and sizzle. And just look at his official art. Don't mess with Magmortar, yo! He's mean and smug because he's big!
Just like Magmar, Magmortar's features seem to be very bird-like, which is probably because the Mag line seems to draw inspiration from a creature in Hindu Buddhist mythology called the Karura. It's huge, it's a birdman, and it breathes fire.
And you know what? There's tons more stuff we could say about it, but come on guys, you know we're gonna do a Magmar episode eventually, and old Duck Lips McButthead is way more closely related to it than Magmortar. Plus, we've got other stuff to talk about.
For example, its name is a mix of magma and mortar. Magma, fun fact, is molten rock under the Earth's crust. It's a little confusing because once it hits the surface, it becomes lava, but no matter what you call it, it's hot, with a resting temperature of about 1,300 to 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mortars, on the other hand, are devices that fire short-range projectiles called mortar bombs. Again, it gets confusing because people think that it's the projectile that's the mortar, but Hironobu Yoshida definitely knows the difference. He designed Magmortar, and as you can see, he's pretty much got 2 mortars for arms. Weird.
Mortars first appeared in the mid-1400s as a siege weapon valued for its portability, unlike other larger projectile weapons. Basically, it's just a tube you shoot bombs out of. They're made for one person and cause a ton of damage with minimal effort. And Magmortar has 2 built into his body. Get wrecked.
Whoa, man, that's nuts. No wonder he looks so serious.
Right, but that's all for naught if it doesn't make sense scientifically.
Well, not so fast, partner. What if I told you that Magmortar's design actually does make sense?
It does?
Yeah, man, so much sense, in fact, that I think it might be time for what may be my most favorite ridiculous segment.
What the hell, Hal?
No, doof, it's good. Pokemon science.
Oh, heck yeah. Science rules.
So Magmortar's habit of turning white whenever he uses his gun arms got me thinking. I always knew that the phrase white hot was no joke, but what's the actual deal here? Just darn good science, actually. That's what.
Let's start with what heat actually is. Really, it's just energy, and when an object is heated, that energy causes its atoms to vibrate. The faster they vibrate, the hotter they get, and then they start to emit electromagnetic waves. That's probably why Magmortar has such a powerful special attack stat. It's just good science.
And when the waves reach a certain temperature, they start to hit the spectrum of visible light, and that's when we start to see a glow. Red, then yellow, then blue, and then, if whatever it is that's burning still hasn't turned into a pile of ash, white.
Generally, for most metals, that point is about 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you've been paying attention, Magmortar's 3,600 degrees is way hotter than that, so he totally would be white hot. That's like twice as hot as the magma on Earth. Guys, the science is good. It checks out.
Granted, it would also mean that standing anywhere near Magmortar would be the same as jumping into a bucket of lava, but we're doing so good and we're learning so much, so let's just end this guy here, right? Good. Pokemon science.
Whoa, so that was pretty cool, right?
Yeah, but the whole time I was just kind of thinking about Deadwood. I haven't even really watched it, but now I kind of want to.
You absolutely should, but speaking of duels at high noon...
Who said anything about duels?
Forget about all that, because now it's time for some awesome Gen 6 Magmortar battle strats.
What? Pokemon.
The thing about Magmortar is that his stats aren't really all that bad. 20 or 30 more base stats and he'd practically be a mega, but his typing and defense aren't the very best, so maybe give him a specialty where he can really shine, like wall breaking. Start with a rash one and super train it in special attack and speed.
The whole point of a wall breaker is to be capable of causing lethal damage in 2 turns or less, so your best bet is going to be that stab life orb boosted fire blast. Just Magmortar doing Magmortar. Round it out with Thunderbolt and Focus Blast for coverage, and almost anyone would think twice about switching in on you.
But there's always gonna be that exception, so in that last slot, go with a curveball. Earthquake! People love switching in fire types against Magmortar, so if you see it happening, try this instead. Spoilers, they're not gonna like it.
And that's it! Of course, that's not the only way to train Magmortar, so as always, here are a few random thoughts.
Magmortar also has problems with certain rock, ground, and lightning-resistant water types, so if you're playing online, try swapping Focus Blast for Hidden Power Grass. total jerk move.
Some more powerful opponents might just try and steamroll right over Magmortar, so be one step ahead of them with an Assault Vest. Nothing is worse for morale than planning for a KO and then not even coming close to getting it.
Or, if safety's more your thing, swap that Life Orb out for an Expert Belt. It's not quite as effective as the Life Orb, but you get to keep your HP and it makes your super effective attacks seem crazy strong.
And that's it, Magmortar. What does he even have to do with Deadwood?
Literally nothing, but if you want to see some stuff he is related to, click here for a playlist of fire types or here for more Pokemon from Gen 4. Win-win, right? And hey, it'd be great if you subscribe too, right?
Anyway, that's it for this week, but if you're craving more decks right now, click the link in the description to check out our weekly podcast. Bet you didn't even know that was a thing. Hey, I'm PokeKellz.
Hey, I'm Magma Admin Alex. Wasn't that clever? Tune in next week for another extremely sharp episode of
The Decks.